Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to continue the second lesson, which is the atomic structure. Okay, before we talked about the atoms and how the atoms are the building units of all matters. Today we are going to take it more deeply. Okay, so the first one we will going to talk about, his name is Dalton, and he was a scientist who made a theory about the atom and made the atomic theory. And he stated that he had 4 theories, and he said that all elements are composed of submicroscopic individuals, particles, or indivisible particles called atoms. He said also that the atoms of all of the same element are identical. The atoms of any one element are different. So they are different from each other. So each one is identical only for itself. Then he also said that the atoms of different elements can physically mix together or can chemically combine with one another in a simple whole number ratio and forming another compound. And the third thing, he said that the chemical reaction occurs when atoms are separated or joined or rearranged. However, the atoms of one element are never changed into atoms of another element as a result of a chemical reaction. So it could never happen that carbon will change to nitrogen or hydrogen change to oxygen. So in a chemical reaction, the atoms stay the same. Another scientist called Bohr model, he said that changed the theories of the previous one, and he explained the electrons levels, how the electrons revolve around the nucleus. He explained the following in his model. He said that electrons travel in definite orbit around the nucleus, and also he said that the electrons are arranged in circular paths or orbits around the nucleus. He said that electrons don't fall into the nucleus because the electrons in particular path, so they have fixed energy, so they cannot lose their energy. His model also patterned after the motion of the planet around the sun. He said that it's often look like the motion of them and how they orbiting around the sun or the planetary model. And he get this model or the diagram of the nucleus. He mentioned that the nucleus is in the middle, like as you can see here, the nucleus containing the protons and neutrons inside, while the electrons are orbiting around it in a definite paths, orbiting according to the level of energy. Quantum theory, he said also that energy levels region around the nucleus where the electrons likely moving. So the amount of energy, or the quantum, is the amount of energy required to move an electron from one level to another. So to make any electron move from a level to another, like here, to move from this level to another level, it requires an energy. So he said this is, and we call it quantum. So he made it the levels as you can go away from the nucleus as the level starts. So the first level, the second level, the third level, the fourth level, according to the quantity of energy or the amount of energy the electrons have. Then further away the nucleus mean more energy. So there is no in between energy, there is nothing between them. And energy levels also. Okay, so he gave us a modern view. The atom is mostly empty space. It's 2 regions: the nucleus, which containing the protons and neutrons, and the electrons cloud, the region or where the electrons rotating, or where you have chance to find the electron. And we have here a table representing each particle, like the electrons, protons, and neutrons, and the electron with a negative charge, proton with a positive charge, while the neutrons has no charge. The location of them: electrons in the electron cloud, while the protons and neutrons are located in the nucleus. When we write any element, it has something we have to mention, the symbol. So each element has its unique symbol, and we have also two numbers. You can find them on the symbol, one on the top and one on the bottom. The one on the top is the mass number, the largest one, and the one on the bottom consists or considered as atomic number. So if I'm referring to Z, atomic number equal the number of protons, determine the type of it, and A will be the mass number, which means the number of protons plus the neutrons too, while the number of protons equal the number of electrons if it's neutral, if it's a normal atom. So if I'm having the symbol, X mean the symbol of the element, Z mean the yes, excellent, the atomic number, while A is the mass number. So the biggest one is on the top, the mass number, which means that this mass number equal the protons and neutrons together, while the atomic number is the protons and also equal the electron inside that. So if I'm showing you this uranium, you have two numbers here. So the biggest one is the mass number, which means that this is the mass number with referring to the electron, the protons and neutrons together, while the smallest one is the atomic number, which is the number of protons and also the number of electrons. So if I want to know, the protons here are 92, right? Electrons equal also 92. The neutrons, I must subtract 92 from 235 to get the number of neutrons.